back to Sijo's Vault. I'm Sijo, and here we explore the lifetime of collecting movie memorabilia, comic books, bubblegum cards, and a whole lot more. This time around, we're going to be checking out lobby cards from superhero chapter serials. Check it out. Universal Studios offered us two Green Hornet chapter serials. The first one here, from 1940, was a 13-chapter serial with Gordon Jones as Britt Reed / the Green Hornet, and Key Luke as Kato. Alan Ladd actually appeared in a couple of episodes in an uncredited role. Later on that same year, Universal released The Green Hornet Strikes Again, the 15-chapter sequel, this time with Warren Hull as the titular character, with Key Luke once again portraying the role of Kato. And in both instances, Lenore Case was played by Ann Nagel. In 1942, Republic Pictures came out with this 12-chapter serial of Spy Smasher, the story of Alan Armstrong, portrayed by Kane Richmond, and co-starring Marguerite Chapman, where Spy Smasher battles the Nazi villain known as the Mask, who was the head of a gang of saboteurs. Pretty standard stuff for chapter serials at the time. 2 years later, Republic gave us the Captain America chapter serial, the first superhero from Marvel to ever grace the silver screen. Dick Purcell played the character, and in 1953, the serial was re-released under the title The Return of Captain America. In 1941, Republic Pictures released The Adventures of Captain Marvel, arguably the very best of the superhero chapter serials. In fact, one of the best chapter serials of all time. This thing moves really well, has great action sequences, and Tom Tyler as the Big Red Cheese just completely hams it up. And Frank Coughlin Jr. portrays Billy Batson. Moving on to what is considered the king of chapter serials, Columbia Pictures gave us The Vigilante, based on DC's comic hero, starring Ralph Byrd, Ramsey Ames, and Lyle Talbot. Ralph Byrd, as many of you know, played Dick Tracy in many of the chapter serials, as well as later on in the TV show. Of the superhero lobby cards, this is the hardest one to find, especially with him in the mask, as he only wears the mask, from what I understand, in the first and last episodes. In 1943, Tom Tyler had a second chance at playing a superhero with The Phantom, the Ghost Who Walks. Here's another chapter serial that moves really well, and you might want to check this one out when you get a chance. Also, one of the harder ones to find as far as lobby cards go. This particular one actually came from Australia. The very first time Batman and Robin appeared on the silver screen was in 1943 Batman chapter serial by Columbia. This one starred Lewis Wilson as Bruce Wayne / Batman and Douglas Croft as Dick Grayson and Robin. J. Carrol Naish is also in the cast, and Batman creator Bob Kane even appears as a newsboy in the first chapter. In chapters 6, 7, and 8, there's an uncredited Charles Middleton, who, as some of you may know, played Ming the Merciless in the Flash Gordon chapter serials. Now, if you've never watched a chapter serial before, I don't suggest starting with Batman. This one and its sequel tend to creak a little bit. The dynamic duo returned in 1949 in the second chapter serial, Batman and Robin. This time, Robert Lowery plays the Caped Crusader, and Johnny Duncan, the Boy Wonder. The cast is a little better, the pacing's a little better, and even the costumes are better, but it's still not going to have you at the edge of your seat. In 1948, moviegoers were treated to a great chapter serial in The First Superman, again by Columbia. This one starred Kirk Alyn as Superman / Clark Kent, Noel Neill as Lois Lane, who would reprise the role in the TV series later on, and Tommy Bond as Jimmy Olsen. The villain, Spider Lady, was played by Carol Foreman. In 1950, things got better when we were treated to Adam Man vs. Superman, the second chapter serial featuring the last son of Krypton. The main cast stayed basically the same. While the first chapter serial features Superman's origin sequence from Krypton to Kansas, this one edges it out as a little bit better, especially when it comes to the villain, because here, for the first time, we get to see none other than Lex Luthor on the silver screen, played by Lyle Talbot. And finally, in 1952, Kirk Alyn was offered a second superhero role in Black Hawk, another property that was owned, well, eventually by DC. This one is surprisingly good and moves fairly well, and I think you would enjoy it if you like superheroes. Hey everyone, thanks for joining us, and I hope you enjoyed the chapter serial superhero lobby cards. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons, comment if you like, and hit the bell notification. Let's keep this growing. See you next time.